Bleach is one of the most iconic anime of all time. It's a series that's defined a generation, giving us unforgettable characters and delivering some of the most hype moments in shonen history. But for some reason, it's also one of the most hated. People love to trash on Bleach, but here's the thing, most of that hate, it's never made sense. Now, Bleach isn't perfect, but much of the so-called critique has become a logical hate. So today we are diving into why Bleach deserves way more respect than it gets and why the hate is just wrong. Let's break it down. When Bleach first started, it was just another hopeful series in a crowded manga landscape. The early 2000s were flooded with supernatural battle manga, and there was skepticism about the need for another, but Bleach had something special. Tite Kubo's art was revolutionary. His character designs were sleek, stylish, and instantly recognizable. The protagonist Ichigo stood out in a sea of spiky-haired protagonists. Kubo's art wasn't just about looking cool, it was dynamic enough to breathe life into his characters and captivate millions of people. Kubo didn't just stick to the usual supernatural battle manga script, he flipped it on its head. By setting the story in Karakura Town, he gave us an urban fantasy vibe that felt fresh and grounded. And then there's Ichigo. He wasn't really the typical shonen hero. He wasn't chasing some crazy dream or screaming about being the strongest. Ichigo was more like the reluctant hero, sometimes even annoyed by his powers.
I'm still not ready to actually commit to this or anything. I'm not so noble a person that I can promise to risk my life for a complete stranger just like that.
All he really cared about was keeping his family and friends safe. Basically, he was a refreshing break from the usual shonen protagonist. The early arcs of Bleach were a masterclass in hooking the audience. The Soul Society arc was just...
That's what I'm talking about. This shit means something to me, man.
It expanded the world, introduced unforgettable characters, and raised the stakes to new heights. Despite its strengths, Bleach's rise wasn't guaranteed. The manga industry is a war zone, it can be brutal, and many promising series have fallen by the wayside. The success of Bleach was a perfect storm of compelling storytelling, unique art, and relatable characters coming together at the right time. As word spread, readership grew. The anime adaptation of Bleach that premiered in 2004 only added fuel to the fire, bringing Bleach to an even wider audience. Before long, Bleach had taken off to join Naruto and One Piece as part of the big three of shonen manga. It was an unprecedented rise that took the industry by surprise, transforming Bleach from an underdog into a cultural phenomenon. One of Bleach's greatest strengths was character design. Tite Kubo's character designs are some of the best the medium has to offer. Sleek, stylish, and memorable. But it's not just about looking good. Kubo's designs tell a story. Take Ukiura for example. His pale, emotionless appearance perfectly reflects his nihilistic worldview. Or Aizen, whose glasses and calm demeanor hide his monstrous ambition. Bleach doesn't just create characters, it creates icons. And can I just say, for me personally, Tite Kubo is one of the best in the business at drawing female characters. And not just because of Yoruichi, but he's one of the best in the game. Bleach was not only great with its characters and story, but the world building was great. From the power system to the various locations and destinations, Tite Kubo built a world that was immersive for the audience. The concept of Soul Society, the human world, and Huecomundo was phenomenal. What makes Bleach World so compelling is how interconnected everything feels. The Quincy conflicts, the history of the Soul King, and the politics of the Gotei 13 all tie together in a way that makes the universe feel alive. Even up to the lore behind Zanpakuto, Holification, and Resurrection. Bleach's success can be traced back to the story, which tackles some heavy themes like duty, sacrifice, and the internal struggle between light and darkness. These concepts are woven into the very fabric of the story. Bleach never shied away from questions about life, death, and what comes after. It explored the bonds between family and friends differently. This isn't just a story about fighting, it's a story about life, death, and what it means to exist. Ichigo's struggle with his hollow side mirrors his internal battle with his fears and insecurities. Rukia's journey to find her place in Soul Society. Even the villains have depth. The Espada aren't just mindless monsters, they are tragic figures with their own stories and motivations. Ukiyo Kyora's search for meaning, and Grimjo's pride all add layers to the story. It's like Kubo took a history book, a supernatural thriller, and a coming-of-age story, threw them in a blender, and somehow made it work. Now, it's perfectly okay not to like Bleach. It might not be for you. You might not like the show for whatever reason. And it's perfectly okay to criticize Bleach because Bleach isn't perfect. But a lot of the hate is overblown. First up, the pacing issues. Bleach had a lot of pacing issues in the anime. Even Tite Kubo admitted the original anime had some problems. But is this a Bleach specific problem or just a product of its time? Because I know for a fact that One Piece's pacing is just as bad, if not worse. Don't shoot the messenger. When you compare Bleach to other long-running shonen series, you start to see a pattern. Many of these issues, pacing problems, filler content, publication delays are common in the genre, and the real reality is that Naruto and One Piece have faced similar challenges. Now, I will admit Bleach has a lot of issues in writing, especially the 1,000-Year Blood War. The Stern Ritters, for instance, had a lot of hacks powers that Kubo just nerfed just so they could be defeated, but the positives far outweigh the negatives. The worst critique is the Ichigo is half of everything critique, because that one is just so overblown. How is Ichigo being part Shinigami, Quincy, and Hollow any different from Naruto being a Jinchuriki and a literal incarnation of the son of a ninja god? Yet only one of them gets crucified as if it's that big of a deal. So why does all this Bleach hate seem illogical? It brings us to the meat of the matter. A lot of the Bleach hate is more about perception than reality. It's easy to jump on a bandwagon, especially when it comes to criticizing something popular. But these critiques, when seen in context, reveal as much about shifting fan expectations as they do about the series itself. The real reality is that a lot of Bleach detractors, in my personal experience, have not even read Bleach as well as they should. Again, in my personal experience, that's just what I see. They just see the popular thing and run with it because they feel it's right. You could be talking with some of these guys and they don't even know what they are talking about because they haven't even read the manga. They don't even understand what they are talking about. Now, we can't talk about Bleach hate without addressing filler. Many fans felt like they made the series disjointed and less cohesive. This is a valid critique, but it's been overblown as usual. Ultimately, Bleach filler is no worse than that of other long-running shonen anime, and its strengths as a series far outweigh its flaws. Bleach has transformed the essence of shonen storytelling. The 1,000-Year Blood War adaptation is reigniting passion in long-time fans and attracting new viewers. Now that Bleach is back, I see a lot of people trying to backtrack because the hate can't hold water anymore. The irony of this whole thing is that among the big three, Bleach is still the most influential of the three, inspiring series like Black Clover, Jujutsu Kaisen, and Demon Slayer. There's a reason this series has stood the test of time. Its unique vision continues to shape the anime world. So for those of you that have not given Bleach a try because you've had a bunch of hate, watch it for yourself. It's great. Thanks for watching. Do you think Bleach hate is overblown or not? Let me know in the comment section and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.